Have you ever looked at your website and just thought, it's just kind of there? You know, like a digital business card floating around in cyberspace, not really doing much? Well, today, we're going to change all that. We are going to talk about how you can turn that static page into a powerhouse, an engine that actually works for your business.
So let me ask you this right off the bat. Is your website an asset, something that's actively helping you grow, or is it an anchor, something that's just weighing you down, not bringing in any real results? If that frustration sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. And the best part, we're about to show you how to fix it.
Okay, so let's get into it and figure out what's going wrong. Why do so many websites just fail? The best way to think about an unoptimized website is to imagine a physical store, right? But the lights are off, the door is locked, and nobody's home. It might look okay from the street, but it sure isn't inviting anyone inside or, making any money.
Do any of these sound familiar? Pages that load at a snail's pace, a website that's just a total nightmare to use on your phone? Or maybe it's just crickets, that deafening silence of getting zero traffic from Google? When your visitors get confused and click away, you're left with no sales, no leads, nothing. These are the classic signs of a site that is screaming for a tune-up.
But here is the really good news. There is a powerful solution. It's called website optimization. And this is the key. This is the process that turns that dark, locked-up storefront into a high-performance engine that is working for your business 24/7.
So what exactly is website optimization? Well, it's basically the process of making your site better in all the ways that actually matter. We're talking about making it load faster, getting it to show up higher on Google, making it a joy for people to use, and of course, turning more of those casual visitors into actual customers.
And you might be asking, why is this so important? Well, it's because a well-optimized site creates this amazing domino effect. When you rank higher on Google, you get more traffic. A better experience for your users means they stick around longer, which lowers your bounce rate. And all of that, every single bit of it, translates directly into more sales and more leads for you. It's that simple.
Now, I know this can sound a little complicated, but I promise you, it all comes down to a really simple framework. I want you to think of your website success like it's a building resting on 3 super important pillars. If you get these 3 things right, you'll have an absolutely rock-solid foundation for growth.
So here they are: performance, visibility, and experience. Performance is all the technical stuff. Is your site fast? Is it secure? Then you've got visibility, which is basically your SEO. Can people actually find you on Google? And finally, experience. That's all about the user's journey. Is your site easy, maybe even enjoyable to use? Here's the key. They all work together. You can't just have one, you need all 3 working in harmony to really succeed. Let's dive into that first pillar, performance. Look, in today's world, speed is everything. Google itself says your server response time should be under 200 milliseconds. To put that in perspective, that is literally faster than the blink of an eye. That one number shows you just how high the bar is for a fast, healthy website.
So how in the world do you get that fast? Well, here are a few things that give you a major boost. Compressing your images makes them way smaller without losing quality. Using a CDN, or a content delivery network, basically puts your website's files on servers all over the world, so they load faster for everyone. Minifying code is like a digital spring cleaning. It just gets rid of all the junk. And of course, having a secure site with HTTPS and no broken links, that's just non-negotiable.
All right, on to pillar 2, visibility. This is all about SEO, and it really has 2 sides. You've got on-page SEO, which is everything you do on your own site, the keywords you use, how you structure your articles, your internal links. Then there's off-page SEO, which is all about building your reputation out there on the wider internet, getting links from other trusted sites, building your brand. You absolutely need a strong strategy for both to climb up those search rankings.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, experience. And check out this stat because it's a big one. Over 60% of all web traffic is now happening on mobile devices. Just let that sink in for a second. If your website isn't great on a phone, you're basically shutting the door on more than half of your potential customers.
So creating a great user experience is all about sweating the details. A responsive design that just automatically looks good on any screen? That's a must. Your buttons need to be big enough for a thumb to easily tap. Your calls to action, the buy now or learn more buttons, they have to be super clear. And you cannot underestimate the power of things like customer reviews and simple, easy to fill out forms. These little things make a huge, huge difference.
So, now that we've gone over the 3 pillars of what to do, let's flip the script and talk about some common mistakes. These are the simple errors that can totally ruin all your hard work. Honestly, avoiding these is just as important as doing the right things.
First up is a classic, keyword stuffing. This is a really old-school trick where people would just cram a keyword onto a page over and over and over again, hoping to trick Google. Newsflash, Google is way too smart for that now. Doing this will actually hurt your rankings. The golden rule is simple: write for humans first, search engines second.
Next up, ignoring Google's core web vitals. This is a huge mistake these days. These are basically specific measurements Google uses to judge how good the experience on your site is. It looks at how fast it loads, how quickly you can interact with it, and if things jump around on the screen. Seriously, think of it like a report card on your site's health, straight from Google. You really can't afford to ignore it.
And finally, a mistake that happens right at the very beginning: using cheap, slow hosting. Your web host is the literal foundation your website is built on. Going with the cheap, slow provider is like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. It just doesn't work. No matter what you do on top, you'll always be limited by that weak foundation.
So there you have it. The path forward is actually pretty clear. By focusing on those 3 pillars, performance, visibility, and experience, and by dodging those common mistakes, you can finally unlock your website's real potential. You can take it from being that frustrating digital anchor and turn it into your business's single most valuable asset.
If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this quote right here. This isn't just about playing a game with algorithms. It's about getting on the same page as Google. Their entire business is built on giving people the best possible answers. So when your website is fast, helpful, and easy to use, you're helping them do their job, and they will reward you for it with more traffic. So the power really is in your hands now. What's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to run a speed test? Are you going to look at your site on your phone and be really honest about the experience? Or maybe just start with something simple, like finding and fixing a few broken links. Whatever it is, the most important thing is just to start. So what's your first step going to be?